You may wonder why I'm rambling with regard to GST when we are talking about corruption. Well, the greater the GST, the more collections, the more development, the more services, the more activities, the more business development, more industries. You are going to look at the GST with what do you call it, with a pin. You are going to sift the GST activities using a pin so that even a minute activity is not missed. And that will be the cause of corruption. Because there might be what you call, where there might be a wrong heading, a wrong perception of what you should disclose it as, or how you should file that particular return or is. All these will call fiction. And in a way, in one way it will be that we can go on appeal and say, no, we are going to go on appeal to the court and get it cleared, and so that I don't pay any commission. When I say commission, I say the inverted commas commission. But whereas, if I am able to give the particular data as required by the GST, and because of the technological developments and the implementation of GST in a very, very forward manner, in such a cohesive manner, over the years, it has strengthened, but it will strengthen over the years. This problem may also be solved. The interpretations may be structured in such a way that when the particular data is fed in, AI will be able to apply its mind and ascertain whether that information fed in falls in line with requirements, and based on that, decisions can be taken. So when that happens, there might be a reduction of interactivity between the department and the person who's filing the return on GST or IT or correcting ITC. Well, it is going to be a long shot. It's going to be a long way, but we should look at it more positively, because implementation of GST effectively has curbed corruption in a very major way. Many of the businessmen are saying that they are happy that GST came into the being, because of the reason, because GST is so effective, they are able to file return of income, wash their hands and sit back, and even some of them say relax. Unless you are making some kind of very major differences between the income tax, between the GST filed by you and the GST ascertained by them, and the differences are very high, then there might be a problem. But that is, even then, when you look at it, AI will be able to take cognizance of this, and consequently, you may not find it difficult in the future to file a return and obtain the results without any hassles for you. Just like today, when you look at the income tax department, I file a return of income, and I have seen cases which I have known in my personal level, that I file a case at 11 o'clock in the morning, by 4 o'clock my assessment order is coming to my hands. So in the same manner, GST is also getting fine-tuned day in and day out. But the enormity looks big. It is because it is paid by all the millions of people residing in India. Because of that, it feels it appears to be an unsolvable problem. But it's only the quantity that we are looking at. The quality will undergo changes, and you will see that there will going to be a lot of improvements when I take up the matter on, So the GST per se is a very good reformative methodology, and when we follow it sincerely, and if we are when we are able to get the information to the government to improve upon the structure, then we will be having a far effective methodology of collecting this indirect tax, and slowly the pressure on the businessman and on the department will ease, and slowly the levels of, I'm not saying corruption will be eliminated, the levels of corruption will necessarily come down. So I was not rambling. What I was trying to say is the effect, how GST is changing over the period of time, and consequently the differences are there, and consequently to sort out problems we try to give easy money, but as it stretches forward and goes further and further, I'm sure the burden of the GST will never be felt. It'll be easier, just like, ordinary taxpayers of the income tax do not feel any stress today. They are able to file the returns, relax, and they file the return in the morning, but the evening is the credit, and their relationship with the department ends there. I'm sure in a short while you are going to have the same effect with GST, and you are going to have, and the effectiveness is going to be so good that as businessmen you'll be happy. File a return, forget it. Just like an advertisement used to be there, for, I think it was for Suzuki or for some other, for a car or thing. Take the car, stop, fill the thing, close the petrol tank, and you're off. That is the kind of advertisement was there. In the same way, corruption, it may be in a very, very huge manner, it can be in there, but I'm sure direct taxes and indirect taxes, there will be a great reduction in corruption shortly. As AI takes over, there will be a relaxation in the minds of the people, and you will be able to file a return both in the income tax, as you're now feeling the relaxation in income tax, you will find it easier in the GST also. So corruption is a factor which we should address, and that address should be taken care inwardly. It is not outwardly. You can't blame another person. It is because you want some services to be getting done in the short method, through shortcuts, and to avoid paying taxes, and to accept some illegal activities or some fraudulent documentation. All these, if we avoid to a great extent, you will be avoiding corruption, and you will be safe from corruption. You will not be suffering from raids, you will not be suffering from what I call, you won't feel the pressure of the government on you. When we are able to do it properly and cleanly, I'm sure the government is not going to come after you. It has nothing to lose. It's a waste of time for them to keep following you, because it's cost them money, it cost them people, it cost them finance, and they should continue the case for a long time. If the case gets dismissed, they'll go on appeal. When again the case gets dismissed, the client goes on appeal. See, this is a way that it's running like a table tennis ball, going forth, up and down, and finally in one day when the result comes, either the government or the person who filed the case may be the loser, because time elapsing, the cost of the elapsation of time, the inflation cost which has been built for the loss of revenue, whatever interest you may get on that, the loss of revenue, all these, the tension of the keeping that case alive, all those things we can avoid if we are able to understand that development is a cause for an increase in the revenue. Development is a cause for the increase in the filing of GST, and that doesn't mean GST is, and therefore there will be some differences in the GST relationship between the government and the state government, central government and state government. All these differences will be there, but if we are, as businessmen, sincere in our documentation, I'm sure you will not find this hassle of corruption hitting us very hard. Thank you.